Good morning, everyone. Good morning, wonderful Eat Like a Bear community members of YouTube. Will we crush 2023? We ask the magic 8 ball. My sources say yes. So, 2 times in a row, because I was just quick in Facebook Live, the magic 8 ball agrees with us. So we can keep the magic 8 ball in our lives for a few more videos, it would appear. Okay, so you guys, I am so excited to see you guys this morning. So this is day 3 of our community-wide 3-day challenge. It is the first week of January. What a great and exciting week we've had. I want to take a few minutes to just talk about some general things. And so what I'm going to say is I've seen there's questions in here. That's wonderful. And so after I finish this, if you've already asked a question, copy and paste it again so it comes up in the more recent questions and I'm more likely to see it because sometimes it's hard to scroll through or whatever. But okay, but that's just like organizational details and stuff. Okay, it's day 3. Welcome to day 3, but welcome to the first week of January to 2023. I have been so energized in particular by what I am seeing this week in our Facebook stories community. And so that is where members of the community join and share their stories. We have had, like, we're crushing it with graphics in there. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but there's something more important that's happening in there. I am so excited because we're like, as a community, we're now 4.5 years old. And what this means is we now have people who were here for 4 years or longer. And we have a lot of people coming back and saying, like, they're either just checking in from like 2019, or maybe they gained 20 pounds. Heck, maybe they gained back all their weight. Whatever it is that they're doing, they're coming back in and re-engaging, and they are crushing 2023. And so first of all, I am so excited to see you guys who come back from 2019, like, oh, there she is, there he is. It is so exciting. And but I want to say something more about this, like, coming back issue, and I want everybody to hear this. So I'm putting this right at the top here, right at the top. One of the things that we do in weight loss that makes weight maintenance very challenging is when we say we've lost weight and then we start gaining, like, you hit a rough patch, right? You start gaining, and then your pants aren't fitting, and so then you start to really, like, disconnect because you feel shame, you feel all the negative feelings, you feel out of control. And so what you do is you tend to just disconnect. I don't want any of you to ever disconnect from this community, and definitely I don't want anyone to feel shame and should not feel shame. I mean, if there's anyone in any community that's an expert in, like, losing and gaining weight, it would be us. We tend to be a audience of, like, mainly older women who've always struggled with their weight. And so if you don't think you have like a sister or two in here, you're not paying attention. And definitely, I mean, I don't think we should feel shame over anything, but I'm telling you all right now, if you gain weight back, why don't feel shame on, like, you're not getting it from me. So I am so excited to see people coming back in. Really, really excited. And so welcome home, everybody. I think that we should have something structured, like an alumni day or something, so that we can stay connected. That's how we're going to really win the long game, right? I mean, if there was even like a touch point every year and people are like, oh, I gained 5 or whatever, and then lost it, how life-changing would that be? Anyway, that's the way I think about it. So anyone who, if you're out there and you're, like, sort of hiding, but you came and watched this video, good, watch it, and you shouldn't hide, because we want to say hi. Okay, so that's the number one thing, is don't ever disconnect. Like, stay with us. Stay with us. Even if you feel like, like your eating has gotten out of control or whatever else, it will get less out of control if you at least, like, hang and hang with us and all that. So, because it's really when you disconnect from it, and we all know this, when we disconnect and we stop paying attention to the things that we're eating, and we've all done it. We've all done it. But that's where you really start to pack it on. It's just the truth. And so, boy, I've packed on a powerful number of pounds in my life. I know it well. Okay. And so I'm so excited to see people coming back. People are in that group posting graphics. That's the other thing I'm really excited about is I'd had this idea that we could be sharing graphics with like our Go Be Awesome message. And if you're new here, so at Eat Like a Bear, we eat and we go be awesome. We're time restricted eaters, which is we're not going to spend all bloody day eating and snacking on a bunch of crap because that's part of what made us fat. And so we're going to eat. I eat. And to lose the weight, I ate one meal and it took me about an hour to eat it because it was so ridiculously big. And that was it. And I would draw the line and I would go be awesome. Some people are eating 2 meals, like in 4 hours or whatever. There's different models. So you eat and then you draw the line and you go be awesome. And I thought, what if we had graphics of like the go be awesome part of our life? And we're going to, but we wanted to kind of test it with a 3-day graphics. And it was actually so successful that I made in the last 2 days, I've made over 100, just in the low hundreds, like 105 or 10 graphics for people in the group. And we've gotten volunteers to help with the graphics because the problem has been we're using Canva, which is really easy, but it's easiest if you're on a computer and 90% or maybe 95% of the stories group uses mobile devices. And so that's been a barrier. And so we have, so far, we have a number of people who volunteered to help with that. And I'm excited about that because so we have these great 3-day challenge graphics coming out, but this is just 3 days of our lives. What about our go be awesome parts of our lives and the graphics that are to come with that? Because also there is a contest, and this is important for all of you to know. There is a contest associated with this 3-day challenge. It actually goes on for 6 weeks, mainly so that we can all be like engaged and entertained by it, where we will be posting and like sharing our graphics, like our Go Be Awesome graphics and all of that. And there are, prizes up to be won by people. And then there is potentially a grand prize. But the grand prize has to be activated by all of us in the next week. 3,000 of us need to check in on the 3-day challenge. If you haven't done the 3-day challenge, you need to do it like starting today or tomorrow, do it and go through it so that you can check in because we need 3,000 people to check in to activate the grand prize. And the grand prize is that of one of the top 10 prize winners, I'm going to go meet them and we're going to make a YouTube video together. And so Laura was just I did a quick little live into the Facebook group to say, hey, come to YouTube. And Laura was there. And so Laura is not only a Canva maven, but Laura has a legendary photo that could do very well in this contest. And I was like, maybe. So if Laura gets in the top 10, and then I end up visiting Laura. I mean, I don't know. Who am I going to visit in the top 10? But she has this. Anyway, we could recreate this amazing photo. It would be so much fun. Okay. So I need you all to check in for me, at least, because I would be very excited to go to somebody's place and do a YouTube video. For me, that's like my own like vision casting. I'm stuck here today in the rain. It's been cold. It's winter. We're all kind of shut, here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a difficult time. And so we need our fuel, and our fuel might be this Canva graphics. Okay. And so it's welcome to day 3, everybody, of the 3-day challenge. We will soon have a link for y'all to check in so that 3,000 people can report or more. Maybe we'll have 10,000 people report. If we have 10,000 people report, I'll go to 2 places. We could. I mean, we have over 100,000 people in the stories group, and we have 120,000 people now by email, and they're not all the same. And so we probably have access to 160,000 people. Get 10,000 people to report in, go to 2. Okay. So anyway, I am so excited about 2023. So for me, 2022 was very difficult. And some of you guys who followed my story know that already, and part of why I get so excited about, I'm going to go visit people like all over, is that our area here in the Giant Sequoia National Monument, you can see we live in an unusual location here. You can see that just from where I'm sitting. So I'll just show you a little bit of this. This is my, oh, let's see the ceiling. Okay. Yeah, so this is an unusual house. It is an unusual property in the Giant Sequoia National Monument of California. Um, Luckily, it's still with us because about 15 months ago, there was a massive wildfire that came through here. And in our little valley here, our little mountain valley is a little green strip. And the level of destruction from that wildfire is um, really very bad. Some of you who follow fires know that like there can be like some nice cleaning fires that clear the underbrush, and those are great. That's what we need. That's what we needed 100 years ago. And what we got, we had so much fuel from the bark beetle, and the fires were so hot and so massive, they killed giant. I can't even speak in too much detail about this, or I'll get too emotional. But we had a loss in our little part of the Giant Sequoia National Monument, a loss of easily half of our specimen giant sequoia trees. And they lived for, 1,000, 2,000 years through forest fires, but not through this one. And the level of fire damage in a good number of places here is like the forest was like sterilized. There might be another word for it, but it's where like even the seed stock is destroyed because it was so hot. And so it takes so much more time for regrowth because the seeds, the birds will plant new seeds. It will come along, but it is not like this beautiful green spring that you might see in some places with a fire, because you do sometimes. Not here. Okay. It's been a hard year, but I'm doing a lot better and excited what we're doing as a community in 2023. But I want to get to your guys' questions because in 45 minutes, a bunch of y'all in the deep den are going to go declutter, right? Because we have our usual Monday, Wednesday, Friday, not declutter, but the project hubs, we're calling it now. And that's in 45 minutes. So that's cool. That's awesome. But let me get to these questions. And oh, Debbie from upstate New York. And Debbie, I don't even know where exactly you are in upstate New York, but hopefully, because all of us caught the news about Buffalo. And I hope you're doing well, Debbie. And I'm really excited that you're like back and engaged. And I know you've had a hard year too. So I'm really I'm glad to see you, Debbie. So let's see. Pat, yay for decluttering. Okay, Pat, who holds the record for the most expired thing in the house. And how is it that no one's found anything, Pat? But I'm sending you something. Okay. Okay, so Debbie's in the Finger Lakes region. Okay. And so, oh, Margaret. Okay, I'm finally here after lurking for 2 years. Margaret, welcome. I'm so pleased that you're here. So you guys, here's the thing. Whatever the process is, if you need to lurk for a while, I think that's just fine. And so, Margaret, I'm so glad that you are here. What I'd encourage everyone to think about as they're getting started is, so I lost 140 pounds. Many times in my life, I'd lost various amounts of weight. And I think something important to think about, like psychologically and strategically is so I just want to give you all a little like positive push as you get started, that and to stay focused and get to a life-changing weight. So I was 280, and I think about it, had I sort of like gotten down to like 240, it feels life-changing, I'll tell you, 280 to 240, because I was just limping and injured at 280, and getting to 240, that 40 pounds made a huge amount of difference. Huge amount of difference. And that difference was fuel for me to keep going. And so I kept going. But I'll tell you now, as a person who's lost 140 pounds and had previously multiple times lost like 40 pounds, and even there was a time I lost 100, but I was younger. But I'll tell you what, losing 140 when you're like 50 years old, the difference between 280 and 140 is so flippin' extraordinary. You fight for it. So like that'll get your attention. And there's nothing like physically experiencing the change yourself, recognizing it, like taking it in and saying, wow, that change, that thing that I'm feeling, is because of these daily good decisions that I made. And through this last year and my heartbreak of this forest fire, I got out there and I actively like worked at appreciating, like being grateful for those daily good decisions, because that is what keeps you making more daily good decisions. Because I'll tell you, life gets hard and it's real hard to just, not lapse back into old habits. It really, really is. And so part of the way that I have formed new habits is to appreciate that huge life changing difference, especially when I am out in living in my big goal. Any new people here, you can find on this channel stuff about the big goal. And I highly encourage you to watch that and to really think about how you're setting your goals. And I could talk all day about that, but I want to look at some other questions. And let's see. What do we got? Just saying, oh, there's questions about, do you need to join Facebook? No, you got, okay. So here, let me review the resources that we have, because so the reason for Facebook is that's where we got started. And so my case, like the early little days of like the seeds of all of this were in Facebook, with Facebook live videos that I was just doing. Like it was just out like showing what I was eating. And it was, what I was eating was so kind of outrageous that it got people's attention. And they were like, it was like the beginning of virality. And so anyway, it progressed and we ended up in a group in Facebook. And then that just really grew. And so I'm going to say, well, then over the months and then the years, I've really built up resources outside of Facebook, mainly because we've had a lot of Facebook problems. And so here's the resources. So we have the 3-day challenge, which is by email, and it is like a mini course, and it focuses on the 3 days. And so right now we're doing this community wide, but this started as just a basic email course, and that email course still operates very much like its original, which was launched in January of 2020. And I give you a shopping list and 3 days of meals. And each day I send you an email that has a video with it and walks you through the meal and talks about it. And it is, so do that. Like if you're new, that is your go-to start here place right there, is that 3-day challenge. But also here on YouTube, I want to direct you. I need to get this a little better organized, but I think I put it in the description of this live video, which is, so we have a meal framework that is like, you work out whatever meal framework works for you. Like I'm highly supportive of people finding their own way, but in terms of what has driven a lot of success in people, like kind of dialing in and focus, like a place to start with what to eat. What we have is a specific meal framework, and it's called like the RBS. We have the ridiculously big salad, S, and the ridiculously big skillet. And so the only difference is like the salad has like lettuce or cabbage or whatever. It's, cold stuff under there. And the skillet has warm stuff under there. And the skillet, we call it that because the S, by the way, but there's soups in there. We could call it the ridiculously big soup, but I put that in the category with the skillets. And there's cooked things are in that. And so here on the YouTube channel, I've just gotten this started like in the last month. And there is like a start here video with a ridiculously big salad. And then there's going to be a whole series under that, which is, I'll be doing them in 5 minutes. Okay. And so you can start like with the start here ridiculously big salad video. And then over time, I just have this idea that at the end, how YouTube has end cards, you're going to just like click the end card for the next one. And then the next one, you could like binge through like all kinds of 5-minute salads. There's like 2 there now. Okay, so don't get too excited, but it's my big plan to have just like a whole string of them. So say some prayers for my energy. And then the skillets too. Click at the end for another one. Just like click, click, click. Just keep watching them. And they're short. They're like in and out. And in each one, I say something about one of the ingredients so you can kind of get a sense of things like that. But there's so other resources. So let's see, the 3-day challenge. Oh, there's an extensive question page at eatlikeabearden.com. And so post your questions there and like scour it for there's been lots of questions asked and answered. And that is the question forum for the entire community. Wherever it is that you found us, that's where we direct you. And the den houses our premium content. And so anyone who gets the blueprint, which is a super deep dive into the RBS framework and the psychology of it, it really teaches a certain psychology of implementation in a very thorough way. It's a totally reasonable price, especially considering, I mean, you guys were having massive success, and what we do is extremely inexpensive. Like, you will save money doing this. Yay. What a universe we are in, like getting to be trim and saving money. I can't even tell you guys. I cannot even tell you. So anyway, the blueprint, I would direct you there. There are books, and these books have come out of like the demand of the community. 2 are in print. The Skillets book is coming. You guys, I've seen it. I've seen, like, I have a video of it getting actually printed. So I know it's getting printed, but I hear that it won't actually arrive because of shipping issues until maybe March. I don't know. Having seen it actually printed, I have hope that it's sooner. I don't know though. And I don't count on anything in this world anymore at all. So, everything's behind. And so I'm just like, it's okay. So that's coming out. There are, I mean, serious deep dives on the food models in the premium content. And we also have, for people who are in that food content, I invite you by email, and I will, like, in the next week, we're setting it up, maybe the next couple days, to join our member funded community, which is where we just go deep. We go deep with a lot of psychology stuff, have deeper conversations about things like, well, I mean, some of the things you hear about in the main group, like the big goal, I talk about that all the time and just go deeper. But one of the big things that probably there's not as much, I haven't discussed that much in the big group, because it's just one of those things that, like, it's involved. And that is like our internal negotiations in facing the donut. And you guys kind of already know what I'm talking about, because, you face the choice, and then there's always that part of yourself that's like clamoring for it. And so how do you think about that part of yourself that's frankly going to always want to eat the donut, unfortunately? Um, I'm here to tell you it doesn't go away, but it gets a lot easier. So much easier. But it takes strategy and intention to get there, to make life easier, not harder. And that is the theme. And that's the theme of all this. And pretty much everything I do is easier, not harder. Like, let's do that for sure. So those are that is the overarching theme of the member funded community. And we've renamed it. I've renamed it. And it's now called the Deep Den. And so if you've been in it for a while, we started calling it first Engage, and that was engage in your goal is what it was. Engage in your goal. We sort of ran something we're calling boot camp, but it's just like such the wrong name, because it's like there's no sit-ups or whatever required. Like, we're not like go run laps. So anyway, so now we're calling the member area the Deep Den, and we are still, I have curriculum coming out, like it's in there already, and it's 12 weeks of curriculum that's related to this stuff, like choice, decisions, making the whole process easier, not harder. Anyway, you'll get an invitation by email, and that's what that is. So anyway, there's a lot of, so I just went through a long rambling list of all the resources available. I think I've missed some. This is all from the question of, do you have to be on Facebook? No, because most of our stuff is actually not on Facebook. What's in Facebook that we've been talking about is there is the Facebook Eat Like a Bear Stories group. And that is where you can share your story. And it is a very powerful place to be a member because it's so cool seeing everybody's story. So there's that. And so to see them, you do have to be a member because it's private. But no, we have resources all over the place. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, you guys, awesome. Oh, and self-worth is D also. So funny thing, I love this on YouTube because like in the den or in Facebook, people have like their their names, whatever their mama named them kind of thing. And then here there's all the monikers. So we have to figure out who's who. Okay. I'm just scrolling up. And let's see, Charlotte asks, how do we join the funded group? I'm in the den because I got one of the bundles, but a lot of it is locked out and I can't see where to. Okay, so Charlotte, you should be getting an email. And if you don't, or you know what, just email like support@eatlikeabear.com. Okay, support@eatlikeabear.com and just ask. But we're about to send this out. But you should be getting. So you have one of the like the bundles, yeah, and that's you got like the whole enchilada there, but the member group is like psychology oriented. That would be great for you to join. But see, it only opens at the beginning of every quarter, which is right now. It should already be open. If I were more on it, it would be open. So yeah. Anyway, let's see. And let's see, Jackie's giving a suggestion that like because you can post all over the place for sure. And definitely like tag us or something so we can see it. I love it. That's that's really the problem in social media. Stuff gets lost out there, really lost. Yeah. And let's see. And so D is saying, is the den the free email? Where can I post at? Right. Okay. So the den, so there's the Eat Like a Bear website, eatlikeabear.com. And there is eatlikeabearden.com. And so there's kind of a number of things going on the den website because the beauty of the den website is people can post, like have their own profiles and post and like interact that way. And it is also where we can deliver the premium content. And so there's like free and public stuff. By the way, it's public. So like the question and answer area, anyone can see it. Google can see it. And if you have a sensitive question, please just go ahead and like use a moniker as you don't, like a handle. You don't have to put like your whole name or anything. And because it's public. Flipping public. Okay, so there's free areas there and they're completely public. There are the premium content areas that are just like if you buy the thing, it will send you to those and then it'll like unlock access. And there's the member funded area also, like you buy that and then like it unlocks those like areas right there. So you'll see stuff that's locked, you'll see stuff that's not locked. And so just to let you guys know, the locked areas that are like behind a paywall, that is how we pay our bills. And thank you everyone who helps us pay the bills, because as we're growing and building these resources, it takes a lot of resources to do that. It is kind of shocking. I feel very lucky that I've been able to spend these years on it. There was a time in my life where I actually, was a paid professional. The last 4.5 years have not been that time. And at some point I'll be paid again. But we've been lucky that we've been able to roll the revenue into the platform to build the resources, both the free resources that, require revenue to create, to have the time to create them, and then to have the infrastructure to support them in a way that can scale. Web hosting can be cheap, but once you start getting a lot of people and a lot of eyeballs, it gets very, very expensive as you face like hackers and you have to have like extra security, and all these things end up costing ridiculous amounts of money. Email lists are free to start with, but when you have 120,000 people on them, it is costly. And so all of these things cost money. So thank you for your purchases. The premium content that we have come out of the demand of the community. The premium content has driven additional success. So I've really seen it as a success factor for us that I've been able to create premium content that would both drive success. Like that's like a feather in my cap. Um, because I'm well aware there's a lot of things we could have been selling here that I think would have reduced our success rate in the community. And like as an example, some of the supplements that are sort of like weight loss accelerators for sure, how that would destroy our message and our success rate. It would make money because people buy them because we're all looking for something, like the magic solution. Those sell pretty well. We're not doing that, and even things like collagen. I think I could have sold the heck out of collagen, but the idea that we need any supplement, we don't. And I think with me running around selling collagen, I think it confuses the message. So there's stuff that I purposefully don't sell that I might have been able to retire on by now. So anyway, but that's not what we're doing here. And so I thank everybody for purchasing premium content as you need it. And so as you come against a locked area at eatlikeabearden.com, don't say, gosh darn it, why isn't this free? Say, wow, what a great opportunity to help pay for all the free stuff. Okay. Okay. That was a word from our sponsor. All righty. Okay. So, and now I'm scrolling to the bottom of the most recent comments. And that's why if you're here and I haven't gotten to yours, just put it again at the bottom, but I am going to work at scrolling up too. And so, let's see. Oh, and then sometimes I'm scrolling and then it like refreshes and then like they're all new. Like, so I was just reading. Okay, there we go. D says, Women's World stories and local news media stories are great PR. You know what? They are. And I got to be on Spectrum News in LA on Thursday, and it was so much fun. But also it took a lot of energy. And so what's kind of interesting, the way I see all of this and what we're doing in 2023, so we could get some traditional press. We'll see. Frankly, I'm not going to worry about it because I think the growth of the community has come from social media and places like YouTube here. And so that's kind of what I see. Like we're going to do our own PR, which I love because, it's kind of like how we do weight loss, like, the whole bootstrapping thing. And so we're going to just focus on social media. I feel like it's the easier approach for me because I can like whip up a salad in my kitchen and put it on YouTube. And so going to LA and coming back, that was like 2 days. It took a lot of energy. And I think weighing that against how many of those like 5-minute videos could I make? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's where I am. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Karen says, when I heard someone say the paid content works out to something like $1 a day, I jumped on board. Hadn't thought of that before, and I'm worth at least that. You know what, Karen? So that's the price of what we're now calling the deep den. It's a little under $1 a day, and yes, and I just found an interesting statistic about what it costs with Weight Watchers, and I think it was Jenny Craig to lose 1 pound. And I need to do a comparison because we are way, 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 way cheaper. I mean, shockingly cheaper. And yeah, come on. I mean, especially given that the meal framework that we use is so inexpensive. There are no supplements. This is not like, oh, and you're going to get on the $200 a month, like monthly auto thing with the supplements and stuff. I mean, there's nothing like that. Whew. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So let's see. Plus, you save that in groceries alone. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Glenda's having an issue though. The comments are scrolling up. It's hard. Like I click and then it's already changed. Let's see. Glenda says, when I try to sign up for the 3-day challenge, I'm not getting any info like the shopping list. So Glenda, what you need to do from that email that you're signing up with, go into your email account and then just email support at Eat Like a Bear Den. Or no, sorry. No, not that. Support at eatlikeabear.com email.com and say, hey, I'm not getting the email. That in itself solves a lot of problems, because what is happening is our servers, like, do our servers talk to each other? Now, sometimes your server will put it into spam, and you just simply emailing us from your email will pop it right out of spam usually. And so there's that. But sometimes these servers, there's all kinds of little crazy glitchy shit that stuff that happens. Email us. Okay. This is like, yeah. Anyway, and this, by the way, is one reason the email system that I use costs so much money. So I use a very high dollar email system. Glenda's experience drives me flipping crazy. And so I actually spend a premium amount with like a server that is very reliable with email. So I pay a good bit more on my end in order to ensure a higher deliverability of the email. And so at this stage, that's kind of the best, that's the, like, my only play on my end, but it's both sides doing their thing. Oh, okay. So, okay. Okay, yes. Oh, okay. Virginia, I buy all the things from you, Amanda. It's my way of supporting this effort, which I so strongly believe in. Virginia, thank you. And Virginia is also one of our Canva mavens. I am so excited about this, Virginia, and I thank you for this. And what I've decided to do as well, and I'll just mention it a little bit here and then keep scrolling for comments, is that you guys, I need to share a little bit more about like my vision and my goal for Eat Like a Bear. But we're making like, I feel like what we're doing here, because we're mostly older women. I don't look around. Everyone is welcome at Eat Like a Bear. Everyone. But who are we attracting? You can see in the group that we are attracting. I'm like at the young end of our community at this point, I would say. And we are working on legacy content for our grandkids. That is what we're doing here as a community. That's where I see like my leadership moving forward. I can get very emotional about this. So because you leave it to something like a devastating wildfire to completely destroy your lifestyle and realize how fleeting things can be. And so we have an opportunity right now to build like content for our people, okay? And I feel like there's no better way to teach our families how to live better than to live better ourselves. And especially in weight loss. I mean, if if your 70-year-old grandma is losing weight and like out being awesome jumping in a kayak, I mean, that speaks, right, to the younger generations. And so that's what we're doing. And I do need help from you guys to do that. And so I'll be posting some more things. And like the Canva Maven thing is kind of the beginning of that, of like asking for some help in some ways that like don't that we can all provide, So thank you, Virginia. Okay. Thank you for a little emotional moment. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Oh, Bobby. Oh, day 3 and already down 4 3/4 pounds. Awesome. Okay. And so again, you guys, okay, within just a few hours, I'll post the link where everyone checks in. And so now if you're just on day 1 or whatever, if you're just getting started, tomorrow's day 1, you can still check in. We're going to have this bloody link up until we get our 3,000 or more people so that we can have the grand prize, right? Because the grand prize is somebody in the top 10. There's a whole contest, you guys. And it's basically people posting their awesome photos. Okay. And there's a whole structure and points, and I can send you to that. But when we get our top 10, then the grand prize is I'm visiting one of you in the top 10 and we're making a YouTube video. Okay. And so don't deprive me of my own life vision cast okay, about going out and doing this because I'm really excited about that idea. And so anyway, you all need to check in because we need 3,000 people to check in. And I do believe that I promised a few minutes ago that if, like, oh, what if 10,000 check in, that maybe I'll go to two. We could have 10,000 people check in. I think the hustle on that, on getting to 10,000, would be extraordinary. I mean, we could, if we can lose 100 pounds, we could get 10,000 people to check in. So maybe we should try. We should try. Okay. Anywho, um, yeah. So, okay. And you didn't weigh on day one. You can still check in for sure. And if you ended up with like an estimate or whatever, but you know what? Some people are not weighing, and I completely respect that. Whatever you need to do, because the big thing is all of us, we all need to do the very best thing to get ourselves going and started, whatever that is. And sometimes it really is not weighing. And so we've had this, I had this exchange with someone in the last couple days about this, about like, should I really weigh before the 3-day challenge? And what I said to her was that I said, you know what, if you're even asking this question, I'm going to say no. And the reason is what I want you to do, and this is something to think about, when you're feeling like I know the pain of that number, okay? And I was like, my doctor's the one who told me. I would have never looked at it. I would have never weighed myself. That's the only way I know I weighed 280. Okay. So that was my come to Jesus moment. But had it just been me, I would not have weighed. And because I couldn't face it, not facing it, like that's a real thing. What if you can start and get your power back? I mean, even like 2 days in, I'm like, yes, I'm crushing it. You feel that power, then weigh, because then, or 2 weeks, whatever it is, that because when you see that number, but you're already empowered and you already see you're on track, you're doing it, you're crushing it, that number, it's just a number. It's just a number. Like it's not going to like crush you because you are in the process, that moment of handling it. You're handling it. And so you are, then you're like, wow, I'm working on this thing. And so you need to, like, sometimes the number is motivational and sometimes it's not. And so everyone should consider what it is for them. But for the check-in for the 3-day challenge, yes, you can guesstimate or whatever or something, because I think we're going to have like a spot where it's super simple. I think you just put like how many pounds lost, and maybe you can just put don't know. Okay, that's okay. But yes, check in because we need 3,000 people checking in. Okay, and so anywho, let's see. Um, So Naomi is asking for help. We have a 3-day, there's a bunch of links in this description, Naomi. So welcome to Eat Like a Bear. And so we have a 3-day challenge, which we're currently right now, a bunch of us are on day 3 of the 3-day challenge. But today is a great day to start, Naomi. Tomorrow is a really great day to start. And all the links are in there, and you will sort of like signing up. You then get a series of emails from me walking you through what we do. And we have there's just, and you'll find other resource links right here in this video. So I definitely encourage you to go through those and just get started. I'm so glad you're here, Naomi. Okay. Let's see. Jennifer says, I don't let my weight register on my phone if I'm up. It's totally a mind game. Okay. Oh, you only record your losses on your app. Oh, so your graph is going to show like just downward because, you know, people who are, because we see a lot of fluctuation. That's interesting, Jennifer. That's very interesting. So, and Tammy, welcome, Tammy. So there's lots of links about where to get started. And when you land into a live video and just like in the middle of like a bunch of yapping, it can be very frustrating. So yeah, go through those links and find the places. But the 3-day challenge is the very best place to get started in learning what we do. Yeah. Let's see. And Kathy says, can we still register for events? So yeah, Kathy, say what it is you're looking for, because again, we have the resources in the description. And right now, as a community, we're doing the 3-day challenge. Today is day 3, but my gosh, that is like any day is a really, really great day to start that for sure. Let's see. Um, okay. I was so afraid of taking pictures of myself through the process. I guess I was afraid if I saw the pictures, it made it more real. You know what? So I get it. Okay. I don't have a lot of pictures of myself. I wish I did. And you can kind of take a picture without looking. You might do that. And you don't ever even have to look back at them, but someday you might want to. So that might be something that you do. Just a quick like and then don't look. Some of the ones that I have are because my kids took them. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Jan says, I've been doing this since the middle of September, have lost close to 20 pounds. Can't get out of a holding position now. Lowest I got to was 212. Now I keep hovering in the 217 area. Jan, so you know what? I would highly recommend, if you haven't, get the blueprint product, and it is in the link here. Or if you have it, go through it. Okay. And usually with it, so it's hard to say, like in your case, um, what one thing to keep in mind is as you lose weight, you actually will go into like you'll have fewer calorie needs. And the reason is really simple. Like when I was 280 and carrying around 240 pounds all the time, I was burning more calories because it took more calories to carry those 140 pounds around. And so sometimes not sometimes, it's just like biology. As you go down the scale, you have to tighten up. And so it could just be that. It could be that your meal needs tweaking. I would totally look at the blueprint. Again, it's affordable. It's very high quality, a high value product. So let's see. And so Jackie says, I didn't weigh after I saw 290 on the scale as I was afraid. Yes, for sure. Yes. And so we've laughed about that with somebody talking about, I think it was a 4, but I never saw it, so it didn't exist for sure. For sure. Um, and yeah, so we're talking about like the impact of the content that we're creating here in this community on the younger generations. And I actually did a little video about this on LinkedIn. So I've shared a few things about like the backstory of Eat Like a Bear on LinkedIn that's more from a business perspective. And I get a lot of comments from like, marketers about how I'm doing it all wrong and like, wow, you could make a lot of money if you targeted 20-year-olds with your content. And I'm like, okay, but what I think we're doing here is we're trying to affect change. And what better way to impact a family than with the matriarch or the patriarch of a family? That is what we're doing. And so, yeah, that's my thing. And I don't feel like this is by accident at all. And this is what we're gonna work on together. So, okay, I scrolled down again, so I'm gonna try to get back up there, but let's see. And yeah, Debbie is saying measure your body too. For sure, you guys. I think like having I never did. Like I don't have my before measurements or any of that, but that's where you and those can fluctuate a little bit, but not like the scale. But the pants fitting, all that, like consider how you're feeling. Come, all the good. And like the scale's gonna jump around a little bit. As long as you're on track, what are you worried about? Just stay focused. That's the key thing. Um, and Brenda says, my 12 and 13-year-old grandchildren are trying to eat better along with me. An interesting thing is coming out of this household with my older son, who was like total like string bean teenager and very active. And it's kind of clear to us that he would be gaining a good bit of weight at this stage, but he's gotten really more mindful about things. And I don't know, well, at some point it might be a little time like for him to get more experience and more wisdom about the weight. But yeah, he'd be probably pretty chunky at this stage in college, gaining all the college weight without what we're doing, which is cool. And what he's doing is different from what I'm doing, just to be clear. I mean, not so different philosophically, but he can eat a good bit more, and it's just, a matter of like the choices and how to think about it, the strategies of it. He's really adopting. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure I ignored the scale after 287. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And so Glenda wants to share the link. You guys, there are links. There's a bunch of links, I believe, in the description of this video. I'm sure I put it in and saved it. Shoot, maybe someone can check. But if not, I'll put them in. But it's, again, the 3-day challenge is the main place to start. So I direct you there, and it's probably the first link. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and Jennifer having issues with the tape. Yes, the tape measure, you need to figure out, like, how to put it in the same place, and that sometimes can be hard, especially depending on the body part, for sure. But oh, good. Okay, so Jackie says, yes, there are links in the description. Awesome, awesome. Let's see. What if your stomach isn't changing, even if you were following the whole situation, like eating the salad and I'm losing, but my stomach is still the same? So, Mary, you know, I would give that time and just see where it goes. But if you're losing, just keep doing it and let things kind of maybe fall where they're going to fall or whatever. But I, 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 I'm sitting in a chair now, and it would be hard to show you. But my stomach area, my torso area has the loose skin, and you can find that video on YouTube too. You do need to do an update. But when you see my torso, and especially if I have like a compression thing on and you can see like the I don't know, flab, it's skin. And so I have extra in my torso area than I did when I was 20. My waist as a 20-year-old was really pretty small compared to like my chunky self, but now it's not. So now I don't have much of a waist, and it's partly because of the extra skin, but it's also partly because my muscle, because of my visceral fat from weighing 280 pounds, and pregnancy, my muscle like is stretched or whatever, and so it doesn't look the same as it would have at 20, and so that's an issue too. I would, yeah, just stay focused, and there's not really a good way to like affect how things are coming off where. And you might have some visceral fat there as well, but all of this should work itself out as you're able to stay focused. But things don't look the same as Ann Devon here. I saw Ann in Facebook, but I always think about Ann because Ann is what, maybe 70? And Ann lost a lot, I don't know, 80 pounds or something, and is down to like her teenage weight. And she made this comment, I don't know, 2 years ago that I still remember. And anyway, it was basically that, well, I, weigh the same as I did at 20, but it looks a lot different at 70. And so that is one of the things that we face, Mary. And so Glenda is looking for the 3-day challenge. Yeah, the link is right there, apparently. So, yeah, and Jackie agrees. Like, we don't have a choice about where we're losing the weight, and it does all come off in time. And yeah, wouldn't it be great if like if we could choose or whatever. And so, and let's see, Tammy, I have the 3-day challenge blueprint, but I'm not on Facebook and Twitter. Okay, you had gastric surgery. There is an amazing success story at eatlikeabearden.com, and I'm trying to think of how we could easily help you find it, but you've got to see it. And it is for bariatric surgery. But in terms of anyone able to support you, you could potentially find the person who posted that. But also, like, this is where the deep den shines for support, is because it's not about like, well, we all have big stomachs or whatever. It's strategy. It's strategy based on and support. And and so we can support you in there for sure. And again, so a word from our sponsor, that is less than $1 a day. And it really gets into strategy with structuring your life and like making choices and all that. And so there is absolutely no reason you can't be in that I mean, for sure. And certainly not because of gastric bypass. I would love for you to be in there and for us to be talking about this, because you just have, there's like just a structural difference between like you and me and it has to do with the size of your stomach, and that's it. Which in some ways, by the way, makes some of your things a little easier, but there's nothing about any of this that's ultimately just kind of easy. But with all of this, and our whole goal is like tomorrow, let's make tomorrow a little easier than today was. And that's what we do. And it is for everybody, just in any, it definitely bariatric surgery. I would love for you to be in the deep end. I think that's no reason not to go in. And again, look for the story. And did you know in Facebook, so we have the stories group, the big group, but there's also once you're in that big group, you can find subgroups. And there's one for bariatric bears. It's not very active, but some of the stories are in there as well. Yeah. Okay. And there's 2 videos here on YouTube on this channel about bariatric surgery. Yeah. So, Debbie says, day 3, hunger gone. My brain can still be stimulated by commercials, cooking smells, etc. I actually turn my Sensi on when my husband cooks his dinner. That is a really good idea. And also, so if you're going to use, like, this is so obvious, but if you're going to use scents to cover other scents, you need one that's not a food scent. Okay. So I was looking at candles over the holidays, and I'm amazed at how many there are out now that are foods. Like the pumpkin pie scent. We don't want that in our house. Okay. So yeah. Let's see. Let's see. This is Anna Sewell, who says, I've been facing more and appreciating or accepting somehow. The more I do it, the less energy I waste avoiding. Plus, I can change and enjoy more. The pictures and my every situation are part of me. Oh, in terms of facing like the weights and the before pictures. Yes, you guys. So, I mean, that brings up a really, really good point. Everybody who's like right now not wanting to weigh, or you weighed and you're like, oh dear God, how did I get here? Okay, you guys, and I get like not taking a picture. I deeply get that. You're going to want one, and you're going to want one because you're going to look back like this moment right here where you're getting started. I'm going to tell you, this is your proudest moment right here. It really is, because it takes so much focus and dedication to get started. And you know what? This is how you look. This is you doing it. And that's okay. You're going to want it. You're going to want it in the future. You're going to see yourself differently in the future. I'll tell you that. And you're not going to feel that today. And but I'm telling you, your future self is going to feel it. You're going to feel proud of yourself, and you're going to want a picture of what you looked like, the you of today. And so this is just me, your future. I'm advising you based on like your future self. Okay. That you're going to want the photo. So like close your eyes and snap it or something like that. Okay. Yeah. So, let's see. And let's see. We can start getting more critical of our bodies as we lose weight because we become more aware. Beware of your inner critic. Well, you know what? Also, maybe, I mean, what if we never even care about, I mean, let's care about how our bodies function and how they perform for us, like out in the world, if we're able to walk or whatever else. But what if that's like the lens we put on our bodies? Society and beauty standards, for instance, I don't feel like that ever got us anywhere, ever. Um, so like, let's just flush all that and forget about all that. And we should have never been like focused on that anyway. I mean, I sort of feel like, anyway, I could go on about that all day, but I think the big thing is get to your get out there, just be able to get out and live your life, whatever weight that is, and then just keep living your life. And then so much of this other stuff washes away. It just does. So let's see. Oh, and Jennifer lost 100 pounds. And so, battling like your view of yourself because of the sag. And so, yes, there's some sag. There's a lot of great compression wear. um, my sag is not nearly as bad as like you see in some places. Um, so I'm grateful for that. But it's still there. Like if I were comparing myself to like the standard of Southern California, I'm sure I'd be very depressed and I would be like clamoring to get, I don't know, cosmetic surgery or something. But I'm going to instead put my energy into just going and being awesome. That's my plan. And it's okay. So compression, compression garments for sure. Let's see. Um, okay. Okay, so D is asking if anyone exercises. I think a lot of people do, and I'm going to tell you my philosophy about that is first, no one needs to. Okay. In fact, I've considered like banning it. Not really, but here's the thing. The food part, what you eat, drives like 95% of all of this. That takes energy. Exercise takes energy, and that's like 5%. Let's focus our energy on the 95. So if you then feel like getting out and walking or something, absolutely get out. We should all be getting out because that is how we go be awesome anyway. But like, do you need to do a certain number of reps or whatever? Who the flip cares? Okay. Um, if you can get out and move, there's no downside to that. But if it's like you're making everything more complicated and using energy you don't have, I would completely cut any exercise. I would just gone and focus on the 95%, the what to eat part, and use that to lose weight so that you can then reach life-changing goals and then reevaluate. So for me, I've never done any regimented exercise program, but the reality is, and I say that to people all the time, they're like, well, you don't ever exercise. The reality is I'm more active than I have been because I just go out and just you know, I go be awesome, right? So I go work on my property or I go hiking and stuff like that. It's not part of any regimented anything. And so, yeah, if you find that like, oh God, how am I going to fit all this? Don't fit that. Fit the eating. And by the way, a big part of the blueprint course is getting you to the point of prepping in like 5 minutes a day or less. And so that's so that because there are going to be days you don't have the energy for more than that. And we have to shore up our life so that on those days when we don't have the energy, we can still implement this thing. That's the whole theme of the blueprint. And so the blueprint is the key getting started material here in the premium content at Eat Like a Bear. And it teaches you the meal framework, but more importantly, it teaches you how to do it in like 5 minutes or less a day. I mean, 10, it might be 10 depending on how fast you are at certain things. I can do it in 5. Um, but the key thing is why we need to be doing it, why we need to have things prepared enough to do that. And it is so that we can get through these bad days where we are challenged in our decisions. That is the key part of the blueprint. Don't overlook that, like key psychology of it. Key psychology. And that is also a big theme of the Deep Den, which is we were talking about the member funded community as well. So, oh, okay. And Anna Sewell is burning frankincense. That's cool. So that's awesome. And let's see. Oh yeah. So Brenda, who's down at least 100 pounds now, says she hated the before picture at the time. Yeah, but love it now. Awesome. Okay. Oh, Mary, thank you. Thank you so much. We are going to crush it together, you guys. We're crushing it. We're creating legacy content here at Eat Like a Bear. That's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Some of it's coming out on YouTube, maybe with our grand prize winner from this 6-week challenge. and our big, like, whatever. I just have this idea that it like becomes a thing. Okay. These prizes of the 6-week challenge. So the first of it is that we're gonna all report in so that we get our 3,000 people so that I can go visit one of our grand prize winners. But as I said earlier, if we get 10,000 people to check in, I'll go to two. I it's I just really wonder if it's possible to get 10,000 people to check in. We shall see. But we can get three. I'm sure of that. But it's going to be a hustle to get three. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Anne, that's right. Anne has had bariatric surgery. And so, yeah, I believe there are, I'm trying to think because Anne is on our Century Bear list. There are a few in the Century Bear list, but there is really, so there, Jackie and Anna know what I'm talking about. Someone made an extensive um, posting about her experience with bariatric surgery. And so that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, for sure. And Anne is in the deep den too. So I was talking about like, yeah, bariatric surgery coming to the deep den. Anne is in there as well. Okay, let's see. Oh, wonderful, Connie. I'm becoming me again. That is wonderful. And maybe even like the extra bright version of you too. Like, right? I think that we can, because that's kind of how it happens. Like we do. I'm very, okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. This is very exciting. And let's see. Let's see. Ellen, I figured it was you, Ellen. Like, I don't think there's a Keith Provost. Like, that's got to be Ellen. Okay. And so Jackie is talking about how, like, not looking in the mirror at those higher weights. And yeah, she says, but this body is 60 years old and it's in way better shape than it was at 40. And I can freaking walk, which trumps the mirror for sure. And yeah, interesting because same here. Like you just like a passing glance in the mirror and like, oh, like, or whatever. That was, same, absolutely the same. And so now I don't know. I look in the mirror a bit, sort of, but honestly, I just really just am trying to live my life, mainly. I think we can, at any weight, we can kind of overly obsess about what we look like. And there's probably never getting there for any of us. And not to be negative, but the standards of like beauty perfection are not meetable. And so I don't feel like that, like getting to a certain standard. I don't think we ever get there. And so why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Okay. So let's see. Oh, okay. Awesome. Elaine and Larry, one meal a day for 9 months, and you've lost 65 pounds. And so you're doing this together. That is awesome. That is really, really wonderful. Um, Oh, okay, and Ellen is on the road right now, so this is Keith, Ellen's husband's photo, and yeah, because Ellen has a wedding coming up this weekend. Ellen, so this is you're gonna just totally crush this. So this is awesome. So and congratulations, and it's the wedding, I like because you have several children, and this is the last one getting married. So that's gotta like I haven't had one get married yet. I can imagine this is a very big deal. Um, yeah. So Tammy is saying exercise for heart health, not weight loss. There is no downside to getting out and moving. And so absolutely, that's why. But I think that the whole like I have to go and I have to do it in a certain structured way takes a certain energy. And I think just getting out and just like breathing out there is really good. And yes, all of it, getting back and engaged and active in your life, all of it helps your heart for sure. For sure. The biggest impact on your heart, you go back and ask your cardiologist if like it's better to go to the gym or to lose 100 pounds. That there's not actually contest between the two. And if you figure each take their own energy and you only have so much, do both. You do both. but for sure. And some people do. But I think a lot of us struggle with having enough energy. And so the focus should be on the food. Yep. Okay. Just looking at, so I'm realizing the Project Zoom. I wonder if anyone's in there right now, because I think you're all here. Okay. Because we have in the Deep Den daily this quarter is we have these Project Zoom sessions where we get in and like each of us, we're just working on a project. We do it together. We say real quick what we're doing, and then we take 45 minutes to do it. And a lot of us, it's decluttering our houses. It's maybe working on a craft, and then we come back, say, hey, look what I did, or look, I found this item expired from 2017 or whatever. And then we go off and we be awesome. But it's just like a human touch point. And so it is supposed to start 12 minutes ago. I'm just realizing that. Let's see. And I'm just scrolling down. Oh, okay. So you have labs coming up. Congratulations. And so, yeah. And any of you guys, like with the medications and stuff, yeah, work with your doctors. Some of them may need to be scaled down. Don't do that yourself. Like it, is lab-based feedback for things like blood pressure and for things like related to, diabetes, that there's certain things that as you do lose weight, that those things can change in a good way, essentially to make sure you're not over medicated. But that is like a doctor thing for sure. But it's exciting because it shows the progress and like the effect of weight loss. It's very exciting. Very, very exciting. And so definitely if you're losing the weight and you're on any of these medications, you're going to want to be in with the doctor for sure and getting those things monitored and getting like the doctor's wisdom and like how to ratchet down, because you're also not going to just like stop with any of these. All of these things are a process and they're going to want to work with you in adjusting. That's very, very exciting. So these are the good reasons to stay in contact with the doctor and the exciting time. And so, yeah, Brenda, so the more I move, it is such a thrilling feeling that I keep moving. Brenda, you guys, is out. Like we have photos of Brenda mowing her lawn in Florida, and those are some of my favorite photos. So, yeah, okay. Judy, keep talking, Amanda. It's putting my decluttering off. Judy, you need to get into the declutter Zoom right now. I know. I don't want to clean today either. So, okay, let's see. And okay, let me scroll down to the very. You guys are like going crazy with comments. Okay, Debbie's taken off. But bye, Debbie. Debbie's gone. I bet. Okay. And let's see. Bye bye, Tammy. You take care. And oh, and Anna has the Zoom open. Okay, cool. So and I'm just scrolling up. Let's see. Laura. Okay, Laura. So, and you need to restart. Restart with the 3-day challenge. And if you go into the blueprint, you'll see there's the 3-day challenge content in there. And so you can just start there and then work your way through it. And I'm trying to remember because I think there's a post in there that says like if you just need to start with this one thing. But you know what? You can tag us in there and we can help you, or send an email to support. But yeah, if you've got the blueprint, especially, and wondering where to start, man, you're right in there, Laura, right in there. So we'll get you, focused and going for sure. But I do think the 3-day challenge is just like, psh, get going kind of a thing. And like not to overthink it or whatever, and just to get started and just see how it works. And then as you see it working, it just like reinforces everything, and it reduces like a lot of the questions to just have like, I'm doing it, so a lot of my questions are kind of naturally getting answered by doing it. So for sure. And so Pat, I'm here, not in Zoom. That's right. Okay. Um, okay. And so, and so talking about what happens to our bodies on extended fasts. And so do you ever link to those in your chats? So we haven't examined those. I have a couple of videos here on this channel about so I jump started my whole thing with a very long water fast and all that. I think that one of the things that there's a lot of great information out there about extended fasting. I I think a lot of really great information. One of the things, and you'll see this on this channel in YouTube too, is that from the point of view of weight loss, is so as you go out and learn about extended fasting from others, especially, one thing that I want you to keep in mind from my perspective in leading a community about weight loss is that we've had some issues with people essentially overly relying on extended fast for weight loss and not developing the daily habits they need for maintenance, essentially. And so, like, developing eating structures where you might kind of fast a lot, but then when you eat, you sort of eat really super big. So, like the feasting and fasting model, over feasting, feasting in such a way that you're really teaching yourself to eat more calories when you eat than you really should be having in a day. And so I have some videos on that on this channel about extended fasting. But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff out there on extended fasting. Let's see. And so, Robin, we don't have the check-in for the 3-day challenge, but we're going to have it like just in a few hours because it's really intended for tomorrow. Day 4 is like, oh, we all wake up, we weigh, and we say how many pounds that we lost in the day. And so 3,000 of us need to check in to activate the grand prize. And so everyone needs to check in. And I said here spontaneously, if we get 10,000, then we'll have instead, I'll visit 2 people instead of 1. I don't even know if it's possible to get 10,000 people to check in. I'm curious. So anyway, that's a big old stretch goal right there. Let's see. And yeah, Brenda is a rock star for sure. And so Susie, yes, the Deep Den is the new name of Engage. So it's first called Engage when this is our member funded community we're talking about. It launched in September of 2021 on the very day that I was evacuating from the forest fire. And we called it Engage, like engage in your goal. And then we started a boot camp sort of under that umbrella back in, was it July? And put it on like a 12-week curriculum cycle. And so we've dumped the boot camp name since there were no like calisthenics involved and no drill sergeants. And we're just calling it the Deep Den, but still going to go with like the 12-week structure and just opening it like at the beginning of the 12 weeks. And so it'll open up when we're organized, maybe in 2 minutes from now. It's close. So it's close. And the curriculum's in there. And so I don't know if current members, I think, should be able to see it. It's going to get moved up, but it should be there and accessible, I think. Okay. Boy, it's been a busy time, and I'm really looking forward to, I don't know, visiting one of you guys and doing a YouTube video. That would be great. Let's see. And Mary's asking about mushrooms. With anything, Mary, with all these things, it ends up being like a question about what all is in that meal. And I don't find mushrooms to ever be an issue. Some people might have issues with mushrooms. So I think there's some concerns about I don't know, the like mold in mushrooms and stuff. So it depends on philosophies and all that. But just from like a calorie or carb point of view, I don't have an issue with them. And I put a lot of these things under the lens of, did this thing make me fat? And if it did, I try to limit it in some way. Mushrooms are not what made me fat at all. Never an issue. So, and let's see. Scrolling up. And Tammy asks, I love French fries and baked sweet potatoes. So should I completely eliminate these foods so that I can excel in my weight loss, or could I include them sparsely? Well, Tammy, welcome to Eat Like a Bear. where so I am the maybe president of the club of loving french fries and of all the things and what I've done with all these things and anyone who's interested in going deeper on all these things. This is the actual stuff of the deep den and we talk about this stuff all the time. And so everyone who's in the deep den and who's been in like engage and boot camp and all that already knows I go to zero on so many foods because it is simply easier. And I have a lot of content in there about like the struggle with the French fry because what I'm going to say, Tammy, is the big problem is you're going to keep thinking about the fry. You eat it and like say, promise yourself, I'm going to just have it here or there. You're going to keep thinking about it and it's going to be just a bigger struggle. I don't want to struggle. That's my decision. I don't want to, and I know I'm going to struggle if I eat the fry here and there. And so, in the spirit of reducing my struggles, I find zero to be easier. But we actually have this content coming out. It's kind of funny because given that I am like the like big person at zero and all strict, I've been doing these little onion ring experiments. And so one of our bigger viewed live videos within the deep den was when I said, I need to tell you all about the one onion ring. Because another thing I say is like, none of us are ever going to be, like we're not the people who eat one and stop. I'm not. I ate one and I stopped. And so if these are the kinds of discussions that we have. But the short answer is easier. It's easier to be at zero. It's just easier to be at zero. Work it out some other way, Tammy. And like, God bless you. I think that's great. And like, that's really great. But it's easier to be at zero. So that's my short answer. And this is a good, and I feel like you just like queued this whole discussion up for our sponsor, which is so our sponsor is the Deep Den at this moment. And this is a really good example of where we go a lot deeper in the Deep Den, and where I can, be out there in like the public social media and say, hey, Tammy, go to zero on the fries is my advice. That is, period. Go the Deep Den. That's the advice I give you in there. And why, and how to think about it, how to apply it to the sweet potatoes, all those things is where we go a lot deeper, just a lot deeper. So but yeah, zero's easier, I find. Okay. Let's see. So Deep Den invitations will go out to people who have one of the food books or the blueprint, and invitations go out by email at the beginning of every quarter. And the reason for that is like the Deep Den is like it's deeper than just like the what to eat. There is extensive what to eat content here, and the blueprint is the place to start for that. But then for like more support and all that additional support, that's where the Deep Den comes in. And so um, yeah. Yeah, and for like in like the question earlier about for bariatric surgery, all that, absolutely. Let's see, but I am gonna need to go here. Super important questions that I didn't get to, put them in the very bottom because there is a giant queue of questions and I don't and then some people who wrote them are probably gone. Let's see, I'm just um Mary, I'm just scrolling up. Okay, Mary says you were a great motivational speaker, Amanda. You should do a conference and charge for it. Mary, thank you so much. You know what? In-person events, I think they're in our roadmap. It's a whole other thing, and I think I would love to have in-person events to meet people and for people to meet people. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be something that because people do want to meet people local to them who are like minded? And so I can see an event where it's like, yeah, maybe I'm speaking or whatever, but also we're doing like group things and getting to know each other. I would love that. I would really love that. But all of it is its own like organization and thing, and work. And in 2023, I am really dedicated myself after such a hard year that 2022 was with like the devastation of the wildfire here and like my emotions. I just want to get out. And so I'm not sure we're going to have like big events like that because they take a lot of work and such. They would be great. But that's where I'm excited about like this. You guys, we need to activate the grand prize so I can go so that I have to then go to one of your places and do a video with you. I think it would be so much fun because I need to get out in the world. That's what I need to do. And getting out in the world to go to a big event that I'm like the adult in charge of is like would overwhelm me this year. So I don't think it's this year, but it would be great sometime. Okay. Scroll down to see any new comments. Yeah, love to meet local people. Absolutely. Um, let's see. Um, okay, so Linda, I will be sending out an email about how to check in, but it will send you to Airtable where you'll just put in your weight. And what happens is that allows us to collect everybody's and like aggregate it and to report on it. And that's all it is. It is a link to Airtable. That is what it will be. And you'll just put in your weight. So we will send the link out. And this is a question about how to check in about the 3-day challenge because this is day 3 of the community-wide 3-day challenge. And so awesome. Let's see. Candy says, did Eat Like a Bear 2021, went from 240 to 169, restarted the 3-day challenge. Am really tired. Current weight 180. Okay, cool. Do I need more protein? I had a hamburger. You know what? So, Candy, I'm going to say, look at your electrolytes. And a lot of times with the like tiredness, when we're kind of restarting, it can be that we needed a little bit more sodium or potassium. And so that's what I would look at. And then sometimes too, it's just like kind of pushing through. Like there's that little phase of kind of getting going again. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm in the deep den, but having trouble knowing where things are, finding things. So ask if you're looking for something in particular, ask and we can help you. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff and I'm working at better organization with it. And mainly, this is why I send out the emails is to direct people into the things that we're focused on for that week so that it is findable. It's kind of its own like little ecosystem. And so yeah, post and ask. That's probably the most straightforward. Um, let's see. Just scrolling up a bit. Yeah, okay, so the questions about checking in. I love that you guys are asking about checking in, and you'll get the email. So I'll definitely send that out. And let's see. Um, You guys, okay. So Bobby has the RBS book, awesome. And then Judy says she found hers when she was decluttering. I think that's great. So let's see. Okay, and Brenda's comment: feasting and fasting doesn't work. Been there, done that, and outgrew the T-shirt. Ooh. Okay, that's kind of clever, Brenda. But yeah, because we all know how much we can feast. I mean, I think that's the and so that concept is popularized in some other platforms that I feel like maybe have leaders who don't appreciate how much some of us can feast. And so for all of y'all who like to feast, just be assured that you have a leader here who also does. And so I appreciate a little bit more maybe than some people like what it means and how much. And a lot of us are like have smaller frames. We're older women with smaller frames. And so 1800 calories in a day as a maintenance calorie amount. Oh my God. That is not, you have to be strategic with that. And that's where the model comes in. Because, these guys who can eat like their maintenance calories are like 3,000 or whatever. Well, man, God loves those guys more. One of them right there, he's walking right up the stairs. So my son Frederick. So let's see. We're gonna have T-shirts soon, Judy. You know what? And that's funny. And people are having problems with the Airtable. Okay, do not worry, you guys. I don't know. You shouldn't have to check in for these Airtable things at all. So I'm not sure what's happening. That's interesting. We will get on all this. And Sandra can't fix Airtable, but why that's strange, because what you should see when you check in, because there's two things now, because there's the deep den, we've had like a weight check-in, and so there might be that stuff that you guys are talking about, like how to get your final weight in so you can like be a big winner. We need that, but also the 3-day challenge one, so which isn't even up yet, I don't believe. So it's probably not that. Okay. Let's see. Anywho, you guys, I am going to be going now, but any questions, please always eatlikeabearden.com. There's a question area and you can just post a question and we'll answer it. Just post it right there and we'll answer it. In the description of this video is a list of resources and it's pretty extensive. There are a lot of good places to start. But there have also been specific questions about people who are in the blueprint, which is awesome. And so asking about how to get back in and get started with that. And like not to be overwhelmed. And so if you need that direction, please ask, because so there's a lot of like, we have a lot of stuff in our ecosystem. And but we've got email support at eatlikeabearden.com. No. I keep saying that. Support at eatlikeabear.com. Ask and we will tell you, okay? And we will help you, okay? Put the question in at the den and we will help you. So there's really a lot of resources for you guys, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. There's always a good like place to just focus and get started just like that. So we can help you with that. Please just we'll stay focused on getting into like I said, the 3-day challenge is such a great place to start because you just kind of dive in and there's something about like the experience of it that just answers a lot of questions just naturally. So it's a good way to start. And so Bobby says, I thought I was checked in. Okay, so what we're talking about is a check-in for this week's 3-day challenge. And I know you haven't checked in, Bobby, because we haven't posted it yet. And so wait for that. And that's for the whole community-wide, across all the socials, and we'll have that link going around. But Bobby, what you might have done is put in your weight in the den, and that would be a separate thing. And that's just we're going to just give some prizes for that. But the whole 3-day check-in, that we need 3,000 people or 10,000 people to check in on in order to activate the grand prize. That's our whole community-wide hustle. We're going to get people in there and checking in about that. So anywho, okay, you guys. Well, then let's see. Oh my goodness. This is such a great comment to leave on. And wow, Lori Beth, when I started, I could only climb one flight of stairs. Now I can hike. And that is our specialty here at Eat Like a Bear, you guys. That's amazing. And that's what we're all about. That's what we're all about. And so that's what we're crushing in 2023. I'm so glad for what we're able to do here. And so anyone who's found us, please make use of the resources that are here in the description and just and ask for direction, ask to get like pointed somewhere, and we can help with that. But the first direction is to go to that description and you'll see the 3-day challenge, and that really is a super great place to start. So and let's see. Oh, and Mary, you're going to be able to, the link's not out yet, you guys. We're going to get the link out, and then you're going to see the check-in is nothing. It's nothing. Yep. Okay. And so Bobby, yes. And Bobby, you know what? So Bobby, Bobby, you are awesome. Okay. So Yes, and, like, all these check-ins are really great accountability. I think that's, like, the number one thing we should think about with all these is, like, it's a way you're setting your intention at any time, and so take advantage of all of them. But, yeah, Bobby, this is one that's not even out yet, so but you should get, like, a we should get, like, a badge in the den just for, like, your diligence. I love it, and yes, that's really good. I think it's really great. This is the time to, like, be extra diligent and, like, to just like latch onto every single thing that you can, and take advantage of like all this great energy that we have in the group. I mean, it's amazing. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like the energy you see me within this video is from you guys. It's from you guys. Okay. Okay. And so, you guys, all of you, take care. Go, I mean, go be awesome. Go live your most vibrant lives. Like, picture yourself in a year from now, okay, and your vibrant life, and begin to live that today any way that you can, even if it's by watching a movie about your vibrant life in the snow and the rain, okay, as many of us will be doing this very month. Okay, and so, you guys, all of you take care and please check out the resources. There's lots and lots for you here. Lots and lots, lots and lots. I love you guys. You take care. Bye bye.